Maybe, I mean, Taka has been pretty strong in this current meta, especially if you are like Impunity, you like to go for very, very squishy heroes. Taka is just the bane of your team comp. So coming through, we do see that Lance, and I don't think Impunity will flex that Lance into the weapon carry. It is not their playstyle at all. It is not part of how they roll, basically. But for the side of RNG, they don't have to quite ban out the Reza, although they really need to, because else Impunity can easily pick the Reza up for themselves. Because I was thinking initially that if Impunity did not pick up the Lance, they could have easily just secured themselves the Reza and then ban out something else, ban out maybe the Saw or the Taka, and then allow RNG to ban out something else other than the that Reza that Impunity could have easily secured for themselves in the first phase of picks.
Yeah, I think Reza would have been wanted to pick by Impunity, so it's been banned away from them. They can pick Kestrel now, that would work quite well, but then they kind of leave themselves unable to pick Saw last, which they might like to do. Because if you go CP Kestrel, that is so late game scaling, you don't really want to play with the Saw. Even though it's got good turret siege early game, CP Kestrel really wants to farm up. So I think they want to pick themselves their Crystal Power jungler. Rhyme, Reza, their two favourites off the table. They are kind of struggling. They want to pick Alpha, because then that can just be countered pretty simply. So maybe Koshka would be a good pick for Impunity to try and snowball that early game. But they're going to pick the Kestrel, so they are kind of committing themselves into not playing Saw unless we see the jungle Crystal Kestrel.
Yep, I personally think, the set of Impunity, we've mentioned this before, especially in 2.8. They are just so very strong on this Kestrel, and it boggled both of our minds as to why teams, when they go up against Impunity, they do not pick Kestrel. They did not ban out Kestrel because Blue City, very strong on that Kestrel, and then you have DevQ, equally strong as well, and they can flex the Kestrel, and we've seen Blue City playing that weapon Kestrel instead of the jungle. However, I do not think that we will be seeing it coming through, as a Vox will be picked up by the side of RNG.
Yeah, Vox, not great against Kestrel, but not terrible either. So it will work for Renegades. They're going to be happy with picking up the Vox. Sorry. Now, I think Impunity have got to think, right, we have the decision of either we go for an assassin in the jungle with our lane Kestrel, or maybe we flex this as a jungle Kestrel. Let's see what they're going to last pick. And I think the jungle Kestrel could work if Renegades don't pick a very aggressive jungler. If Renegades let Kestrel farm up like Fortress. CP Kestrel though is not great against Fortress because the walls will expose you, but Weapon Kestrel is not good against Fortress either because the walls will expose you when you try and go invisible. So it's a tough pick for Impunity, what they want to last pick. I think Ozo could work well, Alpha could work well, but obviously there's still that Saw available. I highly doubt it though.
Yep, I don't think Saw will be picked up. We will be seeing a Scarf coming through from the side of Impunity, and Scarf, we've seen Scarf being picked out here and there for the side for Vainglory 8 Southeast Asia in 2.9.1, and every single Scarf we've seen haven't quite done very well for themselves. I'm not saying that Scarf is not quite in meta, but Mages in general is just so difficult to play in this current meta with so many assassins and how strong Aftershock is. But playing it against a Fortress, I think it'll work because Scarf wants to farm up, Fortress wants to farm up, and it's just down to late game execution as to whether or not the Lance can peel successfully for this comp coming through from Impunity. And Impunity, this particular comp, they run it time and time again. They are so comfortable on this double poke and Lance comp in 2.8. I'm sure they can pull this off well, so I'm going to lean towards Impunity. I'm going to think that, it's just because of how comfortable they are, they won draft.
Yeah, you might not say that Scarf is out of the meta, but I will say Scarf is out of the meta at the moment. Mages in general, not great. So Scarf is definitely a different pick for what we were expecting from Impunity. It can work out. The double poke comp worked for Renegades in the previous game. Let's see if it will work for Impunity in this final game. We are now loading into the Halcyon Fold. So let us know which team you think is going to take the series. Will it be Renegades or will it be Impunity? Let us know in the chat. So I think this Scarf, it can work really well against Uni because his Fortress will not be able to be aggressive early on. So in the jungle, you're going to be able to farm up Scarf very effectively. But it looks like Impunity going for a 3-man invade towards the front healing camp of the side of Renegades. Renegades countering by going to the front camp themselves, secured by Impunity. Arden going to the backs, and what is the call from Impunity? They're going to rotate towards their own jungle, but SNK just walked straight past them and will be able to get all these backs and port home safely.
Yep, and the vision definitely will be provided and was provided by SNK on this Arden, but Quatervar may be spotting SNK.
Quatervar bought boots, which is why he was able to catch up to SNK backs, so he's going to be happy with that 3 CS for him. Now Bluxty is going to catch out SNK. He's just going to start with the minion, start focusing on that, and now SNK is dead. No doubt first by going over to Impunity, but Turret is being focused by Renegades. They're trying to push this up so Kestrel loses some farm. In the end of all of that, the gold is pretty even, so no one really came out ahead. Arden got some backs, Impunity got some first blood. Yeah, pretty close between these two teams, and a nice rotation from Quatervar buying boots and then running straight to the backs to catch out Arden. Once again, Impunity going aggressive, trying to steal the stream. They're going to try and stun Uni with that. No, they're not going to get it with that Impale. That's Spaghetti rotation down. Bluxty is in a lot of trouble. He's used his scoop. He's used his Spitfire. He's got nothing. He's going to go down. Second blood for Renegades, and Uni gets the credit for that one. He wants to get backs with Spaghetti. No, Spaghetti wants to port home. So Kestrel could push, because Kestrel is pushing this wave up. And a very interesting early game from both teams. Much more aggressive from Impunity than we would have expected with the Scarf.
Yeah, what I think from the side of Renegades would be maybe this Fortress might just work out for this early game. We saw the amount of damage coming through from Uni on this little dog, and
SNK, what blood for blood, stealing the Elder Train away from DefQ. Not what you want on a cat.
The side of Renegades must, or rather the side of Impunity right now must be very, very annoyed by how they are just not very successful with their invades right now, and Blue City once again trying to go in.
He's trying to be aggressive against Uni, but it's not going to happen as a Scarf. Said Fortress's poor early game, and he's got 1,700 gold. Bluxity had 500 gold, and Uni still won that fight because Scarf is just so weak. As long as Fortress gets out of the goop, then he's going to win the fight. He's going to outtrade you, and your Splitfire was on such a long cooldown early game. It really wasn't the best decision from Bluxity. I think he just needs to farm up. There's no reason for Bluxity to try and steal farm away from Uni. Just let him farm up, let yourself farm up, and get to that late game power spike when Scarf becomes basically unkillable. But with Impunity trying to be aggressive, didn't quite work out, so now DefQ is quite low in lane in terms of energy, and he needs to buy. He needs to get that Solar Blade as quick as possible. Spaghetti going for the Poison Shift first is interesting because there's no healers. There's only going to be an Eve of Harvest on Scarf. So do you think that's a smart idea, or do you think maybe that will go into a Breaking Point first? Spaghetti pushed on the carrot, but DefQ having none of that. He wants to farm, and he wants to get gets towards his Solar Blade.
Unkillable for Blue City may be an overstatement, especially with, you know, the aftershock that will be coming out from Uni very, very soon. Uni actually reaching that Storm Crown banner, but the side of Impunity definitely... Storm Crown banner, wow. So Storm Guard banner, and just going straight for the aftershock definitely will bode Uni very, very well coming into the late game, going up against Blue City. And we've mentioned before, you know, Fortress, you want that aftershock first. You want that power spike for yourself, and then you can be aggressive. And for Fortress to be able to farm up so successfully against a Scarf, it will be very, very good for Renegades coming into the mid game once Fortress gets at level 6 and can engage with those moves.
So DefQ now picked up his Solar Blade already, and Spaghetti has gone for the Poison Shiv, so trying to lower the heal of that Eve of that Bluxty will most likely pick up. So interesting build from Volks. Kestrel will most certainly win this 1v1 because those Glimmer Shots dealing so much more than anything Volks can provide. Bluxty up in lane, has got the Dragon's Breath, trying to do a Spitfire, will not land to anyone. Nice dodge from SNK on those Impales. Now Uni coming out of lane with that ultimate, but a nice group on Tower takes down half health. There's the attack at the back. Bluxty trying to back up, but he's going to go very low. DefQ trying to Glimmer Shot, but there's Wolves in the way. Bluxty using that healing flask, getting healed up. Wolf trying to stop it. 2 shots, not enough. That Uni's going to dive in. He is impressive. Already got 3 kills, and now Kestrel is trying to get stunned, but she's going to go down. Lance will go down for the ace if he cannot get under this tower, but the Quatervar will boots away. No fountain for him or for SNK. They can both afford it, but no one's in the shot. Once again, 5.5 minutes in, no captain's built a fountain already, which is so different to what we normally see. We see 4 minute 30 fountains, but this time teams able to fight, and Renegades are leading this game quite decisively.
Well, they are. They have got the 1K, close to 1K gold lead up against Impunity, and between both of these teams, we saw, a certain, plan, not a plan, but a pattern for them. Generally, whoever they get initial gold lead can quite snowball very, very well, but the turret will be taken, a return turret taken by DevQ, a very sneaky push coming through from DevQ, definitely utilizing the ability for Castro to just clear the wave so fast as compared to Spaghetti on this box, but now they might just be looking for them.
The SNK is going to go a little bit low, but Fortress trying to dive in onto Quarterbar. He's going to go much lower. Bit of a crystal whip, but that's not going to... Peril does miss, he's trying to run away, and he does get the team all the way. How is he not dead? DevQ though, dealing massive damage with the glimmer shots on the back line, and Scarf forced to reach away, but DevQ, he's started stepping, he needs to get his glimmer shots back. There we go, Uni going to take a bit of damage from these glimmers, but loses it back towards his crystal sentry. Uni blocks the Spitfire, but Uni's going to fall to that first glimmer shot. DevQ wants a second, he's got a one shot. Vox is being slowed by this sentry. Who's DevQ going to one shot? He can get a kill onto SNK if he wants to, but no, he's not going to do it. DevQ, I'm disappointed he didn't go for the play. He's going for the double kill with that one shot and with a couple of glimmers. He's now going to try it onto SNK, but that's going to miss. A little bit late, and unfortunately for Impunity, they only get one kill.
Yep. They get only one kill coming through in that team fight, and to be completely honest, the side of RNG definitely looked like they have got that, but it was just the very, very quick thinking. They just backed off almost immediately, leaving DevQ in a very comfortable position to just reposition himself and then put out those glimmer shots. That way, RNG just had such a hard time and was just jumping onto DevQ. Blue City is quite an easy target as a Scarf. You are generally just sitting dark when you cast a spell. And we saw a very good Dragon's Breath coming through from Blue City, but it was just not enough. Quartervar very close to that, but just able to stay in the team fight for an awfully long time, providing so much sustain for the side for his team. And that is one thing. And although the side of RNG, a lot of mortal wounds coming through.
We're going to see a second item, Dragon's Eye. That's going to be a nice big stun, and he stuns him out of the goal. SNK doesn't get that. Lots of damage with that aftershock block from the tooth. DevQ though very low. One more shot from Fortress does not quite get him the fountain. Saves his life. Now DevQ going to get those glimmer shots. That's a lovely Dragon's Breath and Scarf. Going to go into SNK, but the double stun from Quarterbar was not enough. DevQ's going to go down, and Quarterbar is basically dead. He's forced to back away. The Dragon's Eye, second item, it's not being picked up, so not quite working out for Quarterbar just yet. Interesting build though, and Renegade are looking to take this tissue turret and possibly even gold mine. Uni though, with that aftershock, is bursting so heavily onto this Kestrel.
Quartervar on this Crystal Lance is not foreign. It's not foreign to me at all. When I was casting for Southeast Asia Mobile Major, and it was the last finals between Impunity and Renegades, Quartervar went very similar builds, but now this gold mine may be able to be stolen away by Quartervar, but no, will be secured by Uni on that fortress. Impunity maybe will be looking for a fight. And yes, continuing on my point, it is not foreign to me because I've seen it before with my own eyes. I've seen Quartervar actually managing to use it.
The length of those routes, they have been increased a little bit by that heavy prism, and once again Impunity going for the sneak step in the dark. He does not care. He wants this turret. Will he get it? One more basic. Don't glimmer shot. Just basic. Just basic. Kestrel. No, the minions aren't going to get the turret. Renegades are going to stop it. DevQ was trying to glimmer shot through the fortress and the Vox. If he just stood still and basic attack, that turret has gone down. I think that is about as low as a turret can go. But Bluxty is going to get his jungle, and Quartervar can almost afford Dragon's Eye. A little bit more ambient gold to be able to get that. So interesting decision. I think it will help later on in the team fights. Those route durations will go to probably the max length they can on this lance, similar with the stuns. But yeah, DevQ really wanted that turret, and I think he'll be slightly annoyed at himself that he tried to glimmer shot. But it seems obvious. If you glimmer shot, you do more damage, but when it's being body blocked, you should just basic attack. And now Kestrel trying to farm up, but the wave is far too pushed, so he's forced to go back. And DevQ is going aggressive. 2 minions foot, no weapon power, no attack speed. And that is a dead lance. He's gone down. He's far too aggressive. Doesn't bother founcing himself. That makes sense. Now Uni looking to push this, and Kestrel is going for the back door onto the turret, but he's spotted. side. There was a scout trap. I don't think they care. I think they just want the tier 3 turret. And even though Kestrel's going to get it now, he's going to push the wave up. Lukesty's trying to clear this with a goop combo. That will do a lot onto the minions, but the minions are still alive. There's going to be Dragon's Breath. Lukesty's going down low. He's going to have to use the box to get out the gauntlet. Kestrel, meanwhile, getting the turret. Tier 3 turret for Renegades is going to be started up. Kestrel's going to get the healing camp. I think Defq's going to try the next turret as well. We're just going to see a complete split push strategy. This is meant for 5v5, not 3v3. As Defq is just like, I don't care. You lose your turret. Hold my beer while I take this sentry. And Defq's going to get that down. I'm not quite sure what he's going for. He should port home soon, because if he gets out of position, if he gets caught, he's going to go down. But actually, he's looking to fight. He's looking to come from behind and fight. He's got a trap down, but there's a scout trap in that bush, which he does not know about. Now he's standing next to a scout trap, which he also does not know about. And now he's forced the boots away. Will he be able to get back? He's using the active camo. Lots of glimmers onto Uni, but where is Vox? Vox isn't there. Defq now trying to do what he can. Aftershock clock, healing flask. There's going to be one glimmer. Going to go on to Arden. Arden really rocking for Uni. Will it be enough? One more basic attack will get Arden, but Spaghetti is going to tank that. He's going to go down, and Uni survives. Kestrel is caught out, should have got the tree and ported home. Quadivore, what are you doing? No, don't go for the 3 plays. This is not the best coordination that we've seen from Impunity. Quadivore is going to go down. He went for Shatterglass and said, wait, no, he's going to impale over the wall and get away. The wolves are stopping him from being able to port home. So Spaghetti blocks the pushback on the Githian wall. Quadivore actually went for Shatterglass. I was expecting Dragon's Eye. He went for Shatterglass, and yeah, not the best coordination from Impunity.
I mean, with the Shatterglass, I think your stun goes up to the maximum, especially with the Crystal Infusion. I think it's 1.4 seconds on those Githian walls, and it cannot go any higher. So even if you do have got a Dragon's Eye, you have got that 9 as 4 stacks in, equivalent to that of a Shatterglass. Those extra stacks do not give you anything more. So Quadivore just settling for that Shatterglass, but have got a crystal bit sitting in the pocket as well.
He's not had enough. He's like, Blukesy's not doing enough damage. I need my own damage. And normally, when you see a solo queue Lance, he's going to build tension. So please build a fountain for me. Don't build your tension. Power. Wonder what that one's going to be built into, that crystal bit. Obviously, Clockwork would make sense on Lance, but that doesn't build out crystal bit. And Quadivore, they don't care. They're behind. They're 6k behind in gold. Impunity have got 2 crystal sentry charges, and Kestrel's going to try and 1v1 Vox. They're splitting their aggro ridiculously. And there's going to be Bluesy trying to run away. He gets none of the camps. SNK or Uni manages to get them away. Spaghetti has run down. But look at Kestrel. Kestrel's going to push the wave. What Impunity are playing the way I've never seen before. SNK's going to try and stop Defq. Can he stop the minions in time? Yes, SNK may fall, but he stopped Kestrel getting the turret. Lance is going to go down to Vox most likely here. And Kestrel's going to try and kite around, but he hasn't got energy. Kestrel can't afford to go invisible. Got 12 seconds to survive, but will not be able to do so. Well played by SNK to freeze the wave, stop Kestrel being able to take the turret. But in 5v5, you should be scared about Impunity. Their split push is ridiculous.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking Impunity. They are definitely preparing for the 5v5 for Vainglory. I mean, just look at the amount of multitasking coming out. We have Blue City, we have Quadivore. Just very clear, they are just working as baits. Right? They go into the enemy's jungle, do whatever they want to do. And then you have Defq just sitting in lane, just pushing, and
it's like how they have a saw, but they've forgotten that they can pick saw, so they pick Kestrel. And they're just like, let's push turrets with.
Well, I mean, higher burst and saw is damage over time. So I don't know what Impunity is trying at, but they were almost successful. I have to give them that. Their plans not entirely thrown out into the water. It's kind of successful, but just constantly being caught out. And with 3v3 having such a small map, it is quite, ridiculous of an idea to just go in for the split push, because there is no 2 lanes, there is just 1 lane. If you're not in this lane, you are in this lane, if that makes sense. But then
the only way to win the game is to push down this lane and take that tier 3 turret and take the next 2. And Renegades know exactly go. Kestrel now looking to do a proper team fight. It comes through. He crucible so that he was not spun out of it. Gonna have to back towards Crystal Sentry. Kraken has awakened to him. And there's the Dragon's Breath coming through from Scarf. She hasn't got a Dragon's Eye, so not backing up. Spaghetti's going to go down. Defq gets the kill, and he's going to get a double onto SNK. Can Impunity turn this around? SNK's going to fall to the Kestrel with 1 more basic, and he does get the kill. And now Fortress is the last man standing, but it's not a clean ace, so it's not a free Kraken for Impunity, but it is a really good team fight for them.
It is a very good team fight, and although they are 5k, 4.5k behind the side of Renegades, but Renegades then really dove a little too deep and they just forgo about DevQ's existence, and we saw the length of the stuns coming through from Quartervore. Like 1.4 seconds, you don't think it's much, but damn, those stuns are long.
It does seem like in order to get the maximum stun duration, you need a Shatterglass and a Crystal Bit. I think that's what Quartervore has done the maths, and a Shatterglass isn't quite enough, so he's just gone for the Crystal Bit, and he's going to sell that later on in the game. And it's an interesting idea, but DevQ is just going completely glass cannon. He is not going for any kind of defense. No block, no defense. 5 damage items, I'm pretty sure he's going to go. And Spaghetti's gone for the metal jacket and is fully built in terms of damage and defense. He just needs boots to finish off that build, whereas DevQ still needs a tornado trigger and a bone saw, and his boots need to be completed. So Impunity want to scale this out to late game. The later on this game goes, the worse it is for Vox, because he's not going to get any stronger, and Kestrel is only going to get stronger. Same with Scarf. Now Impale and stun. That's so long onto SNK. He's just stunned for ages, but the double stun from the gauntlet, they happen to walk into it. SNK does not use the Crucible quite at the right time, and DevQ is backing away with his Scarf. Kraken started up by Renegades. Kestrel, one shot, doesn't connect on Spaghetti, I think that might have hit. And now Vanguard over the wall does keep Uni a bit healthy. Quartervore just baiting out. Uni is going to fall for it, maybe. Walking into DevQ. There's wait for it going to come through, and it's going to silence up Kestrel. But that's a lovely goof from Scarf, just stopping all members. That's a root, and it's going to be a stun for so long on to Spaghetti. Double stun from Lance is available if he gets the kill. More than that is into the wall, but it dodges out the Spitfire because of that stun. DevQ's going to fall. That's disaster for Impunity. That's a fountain for Renegades. Scarf has nothing. She hasn't got Dragon's Eye. She's going to go down. Quartervore can jump over walls if he gets energy, but he baited them. He didn't jump over the wall. He just ran away. There were 3 wolves on him now. What's he going to do? He's going to land quite long stuns, but I think he will die. That will be the ace, and it will be going over to Fortress. The Renegades take this Kraken and possibly look to win. I think DevQ's going to go for the back door. I'm calling it now.
I'm not too sure about that. I mean, DevQ can, but he do not have insanely long invisible timings because he's running that weapon build after all. So maybe he can try, and DevQ is out. But he has to stop this wave from going through first. 1 shot, 1 kill, not able to secure Kraken. Probably hit Kraken as well. But maybe DevQ, maybe you are right. Maybe DevQ will go for that backdoor. Oh dear. This will be the play of the century.
DevQ's not going to go for it. He has 3. He's going to back off smartly, repop his weapon infusion, and it's the boring play, but he is not going to win the game. There's vision, he knows there's vision, and now we have to see what is going to happen. Can Impunity turn this around? Can they defend this Kraken? As we find out, 5-0 First Legion won the 3rd and 4th place playoff, so they beat Elite 8 2-1, the surprise in the end. But now we've got this game. Impunity up against the Renegades. Can they defend this Kraken being pushed down? Gauntlet comes through, stuns up DevQ, but he's going to walk out of it. No echo available for Arden, and Lance forced back into base. There were no walls to push anyone into. Uni's on the turret. Uni doesn't care about this fighting. Vox manages to get the Arden, get the Lance in the base. Spaghetti, 16 breaking point stacks. He doesn't care about that Dragon's Breath. It just tickles. They're onto the fate. Renegades are going to take this game 3 and the series 2-1. DevQ's trying to do what he can. He gets them shut down. Uni's just baiting. Kraken's on the vein, and that will be GG to Renegades.
Wow, very well played to both teams. We saw some very peculiar, interesting, way to play Vainglory 3v3 coming through from the side of Impunity, but it just didn't quite pay off for them. I mean, yes, I know the idea is kind of there. We saw DevQ trying to go and did actually went for that sneaky push. Took out first turret with a sneaky push, took out the second turret with a sneaky push as well. Tried going for the anchor, but it was just too far away and just unable, got caught out, gave Renegades the ace, and Renegades from there just pushed to their advantage. Very interesting build as well coming through from Quartervore. The Shatterglass for the long stuns, long routes, and we saw it as well. The members of RNG, as long as they are caught out in those stuns, in those routes, they just stand there forever, and it was just so very easy for Impunity to capitalize on that.